video walkthrough on a Heartland Mallard. We're starting the back. You are pre-wired for a backup camera. Now it does not come with a backup camera. That's going to have to be a separate purchase. So if you'd like one, make sure you let somebody know. And then it does use power from the marker lights up there, so the running lights on the tow vehicle need to be on for that camera to work. Got an outdoor shower here. This pulls out, and then you can hook it to here. It's got hot and cold out here, which is nice. These bumper caps come off. That's going to be the perfect spot to store your sewer hose. That's what it's designed for. That's why they make the caps able to come off. 30 amp short cord. This is your short cord. Comes with a unit. Just twist it on and then tighten this if you want to keep people from accidentally unplugging it. City water. This is where you hook your hose up to, and you'll be able to run off of city water pressure. You won't need your pump. Below that, you have a black tank flush. So when you're dumping your black tank, you can screw a hose into here. When you turn your hose on, there's a small nozzle in the black tank that'll kind of help flush it out. And you have a cable inlet, so if you're going somewhere that provides cable, you can hook it up through here. Right down here, you have your dumps. So the one on your left is your gray, the one on your right is your black. I always make sure that the handles are closed before you take that cap off, so you don't make a mess. And then I always do the black tank first, let that get all the way dumped. And then I do gray, that'll flush out the hose. That way when I carry it to put in the bumper, it's not dripping black tank water. Slide seals, every once in a while you are going to want to inspect them, make sure they're not dry or cracked or anything like that. If they are, you can take it in and perform what's called a slide out maintenance, or you can buy the necessary materials to do that yourself. Water heater, super simple to use. The only thing you folks will have to do when you're ready to use it is put your plug in to here, thread it by hand, and then 15/16 is the socket size. I use a short socket with an extension and a ratcheting wrench. I get it nice and snug. Don't over tighten it, just snug. And then as soon as you hook up water to it, it'll start filling, whether it be from your city water or from your fresh tank. Once it's full, you'll be able to kick it on and be good to go. Now, I definitely recommend draining it after every trip you took. You don't want it sitting half full of water for a couple weeks because they'll start to get stagnant and smelly, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to flush out. So, before you pull your plug to drain it, shut off all sources of water. Crack your pressure relief, open it up like that. Water will squirt out, that's fine. Once it's done, snap it closed. Then you can take this out. If you neglect to relieve the pressure first, it's all going to escape here as you're taking that plug out, and you're going to get wet. And then you might risk losing this, having it shoot across the campground underneath a neighbor's camper or whatnot. And then besides that, keep it clean. Clean in here and in here. Make sure this whole area back here is clean. I recommend doing that 4 times a year. I do mine at home once every seasonal change. Pass-through storage, light, and then a switch here for LEDs on the front. Good information here. You got your tire pressure. Make sure you check it quite often. Go off of this number right here. That was on the tire size in case you need to order 2 tires. How much a full load of water equals, how much the cargo capacity is. You get your gross vehicle rate weighting, and then, yeah, a lot of good information here. Battery, Group 24 RV Marine grade battery. The winter, I recommend taking the battery out, storing it in your garage, your basement, anything warmer than just being outside all winter long. And if it's going to be quite a little bit before each trip, I recommend disconnecting the negative lead off the battery. That's going to keep anything from using it while you're away. Dual 20-pound cylinders. They are filled. You don't have to worry about filling them. Or make sure they're off for you. You got your automatic changeover regulator right here. So whichever one it's pointing to, it's going to pull from that one first. If this one were to be on as well, and this one were to get emptied, a little diaphragm in here will open up, causing it to switch to pulling from this tank. However, this doesn't rotate, indicating it has switched tanks. So keep that in the back of your mind, because you could be halfway through this one and you still think you're running off of this one because it's pointing that way. So just keep that in mind. And then some people put it in the middle like this, thinking it's going to pull from both tanks equally. It doesn't work that way. Trust me. Got a standard manual tongue jack. You can upgrade to a PAL one if you'd like. Chains crossing when you hook up. 7-way that gets hooked at the back to your truck that allows the brakes and the marker lights and turn signals to work. Then you have a brake array right here that's just hooked to that box. That'll get hooked up to a vehicle, and if this trailer were to ever get unhooked, it's going to pull the pin out of the box, activate the brakes. Other side of that storage light over here, you got 2 cranks. One's a 3/4 inch. That'll be I don't know what that one's for. I don't see anyone that uses that. Your slide out won't use that. But your backups are here for your tongue jacks. We'll use the skinnier one. So you got a crank you don't need, but you might as well leave it in here because if you do upgrade to a power tongue jack, some of them use that to work. Stabilizer jacks right here. The top one is the front jacks, and we'll just demo those ones because the back ones look the same. These are stabilizing jacks. They are not leveling jacks. Do not try to use these to pick up the weight of the trailer because you will trip the breaker on there and you'll have to wait for it to reset. For any reason the breaker doesn't trip, you could amp out the motor, causing the motor needing to be replaced. And the worst that'll happen is you'll bend these jacks and then the jacks will need replaced. Keep in mind, if that were to happen, that's not warranty. That would be customer damage. So, like I said, stabilizing only. If you want your trailer to be level front to back, use your tongue jack, level front to back. If you want it level side to side as you're backing it in, get it level side to side. Blocks underneath your tires to back it under some blocks to get it that way. And then you snug these down to get all of the shake out of the trailer. If it's going to be grass or like loose dirt, I recommend some blocks underneath these so they don't sink. But concrete, they should be fine the way they are. Coming along over here, outdoor power, it's GFCI protected. All your GFCI circuits are on the are connected, so if one GFCI were to trip, all of them will trip, and then when we go inside, I'll show you how to reset it. Gravity fill for your fresh tank, so you just rest your hose in there. As you can see right here, it'll expand and cause damage. Don't fill unattended, don't jam your hose in there, just rest it in there. Don't wait to hear water squirt out. Watch its progress on the monitoring panel, because you could, like I said, expand the tank and cause damage. And then when you pull from your fresh tank, that's when you need your pump. Just like your water heater, I recommend draining your fresh tank after every trip. You don't want it sitting full of water, so your drain for it is, see if I can't find it, they always put it in a slightly different spot, even throughout the same models. Oh, over there, I see him. I see him. Ugh. It's that blue one right there. The other two are low point drains for your water lines, and there's another set of low point drains in the back. But it's that blue one right here. Exterior fridge vent, keep it clean. Every once in a while you can take this off, clean back there. Same thing with your furnace. They do make screens for these. That's going to keep road debris and insects from building nests there. Right over here you have your exterior range vent, so if you can use your fan on your range hood, make sure you have this flap in here open. When you're traveling or overnight, I like to close mine so no insects build any nests in there. And then you do have an outdoor kitchen out here. Mini fridge. It's going to work just like a standard mini fridge. It's only going to work when this camper is plugged in. You have another GFCI outlet with a cable outlet out here, so if you wanted to have a TV out here, you could. A sink out here as well. Slide out grill. You got that propane line right there. You can see that right there. That gets hooked to that propane quick disconnect right there. And there's a little valve on it that you got to open up too. And then to use this, all you do, there you go. Turn the knob to light and light it with a match or barbecue lighter. Alright. So 2 more things on the outside. Your roof has a warranty. The only way to keep that warranty is proof of regular maintenance. That involves going up there every once in a while. There's no ladder, so it's not a walkable roof. Recommend looking over with like a folding ladder, or if you have to get up there, set like a foam pad or something down to spread your weight out. What you're looking for is cracks in the ceiling or tears in the roof material. If you see anything, take pictures. If you buy stuff to do it yourself, keep your receipts. If you have work done from a mobile technician, you can do it. We don't do mobile service, but some places do have mobile technicians. Or if you do, you take it in, or you have a buddy that does it. If you buy materials, keep your receipts. Take before and after pictures. That way, if something major happens, you can come in and say, hey, look, I've had all this receipts, all this documentation, then I do this once a year. Why is my roof bad? That way they can't deny any claims because now you have proof of regular maintenance. Now your sealant around all these fixtures here, just white silicone, is warranted through us, through Camping World, for 90 days. After that, that is on you. So if you see gaps, going around spot seal it every once in a while. But after 90 days, it's on you guys to take care of it. So now we'll go on to the inside. Oh, they must have turned the lights off a different way here. Oh. Lights for inside. One on the left is inside, one on the right, I think, is doing your... What does that one do? Oh, bedroom light. So, hold on. I'm going to wipe my feet off. One on the right does your bedroom light, which you can turn it on and off right here. You can also turn them on and off at the lights. We'll go turn that one on. We'll start in the bedroom. Both sides of the bed, outlets, clicky lights right there. These doors, they lock them together when you travel so they're not sliding all over the place. And then your bed does lift up for storage underneath. Here you're partially wired for the WineGuard Wi-Fi extender. You have to actually buy the stuff and have us install one on the roof if you'd like that. TV, spot to plug your TV in for the DVD player that's built into the radio. You can also, when these doors are all the way open, unpin this and rotate this whole assembly all the way around so you can have a TV in the bedroom as well. Radio, so it's super simple. Like I said, it was not an HD DVD player. It's just a standard definition because it has the composite cables. You have zones. Zone 1's inside. If you turn the inside one off, it'll just be outside, and if you turn the outside one off, it'll just be inside. You can have them both off, you can have them both on, whatnot. Presets, push and hold to save preset. You have pause, play, stop, previous channel, next channel, or rewind and fast forward. Bluetooth, mode selection, then you have auxiliary, headphone jack, and USB. Super simple. Right here you have your booster for your antenna, so if you hook your TV up there, if you want to run your antenna, make sure that green light's on. If you're doing cable, turn it off. Over here, smoke alarm, uses 9-volt batteries, so when they start giving you the low voltage chirps, replace the battery. As far as, other than that, it works just like your smoke alarm at home. You do got some light switches here. One on the left does porch light, one on the right does your awning lights. And you have controls for your awning right here. Yep. Simple. It does not automatically stop when you're all the way out. You have to visually watch. When you see the bare metal tube, you're all the way out. You see the flap hang down too. In the sake of saving time, we will only open it that far. If you look right there, there's pins for adjusting. Push the one on each side, pinch the pins, raise and lower the awning to adjust the pitch. So if it's raining, you can have water pitch off to the corner, or if it's sunny, you have the sun in your face, you can lower both ends and have the sun get blocked. Make sure before you roll it up, you put these both on the same settings. And if you roll it in wet because it starts getting real stormy, as soon as you're done, as soon as it gets sunny and dry out, roll it back out, let it dry off. Alright, we're back. Sorry for the little interruption. And then, like I said, it doesn't automatically roll in when it's rainy too, so just keep out heavy storm, heavy wind, roll it up. As soon as it gets sunny, roll it back out to let the water dry out, because you don't want it holding moisture because it'll start to get moldy and won't smell good. So right on the right of your awning switch, you have your slide out controls, which controls your slide out. This couch right here turns into your bed. Very difficult to show while I'm recording and doing it one-handed. It's easier with two hands, but I'll walk you through it. You remove these cushions. I usually set them aside somewhere. Then you grab up underneath here, you lift up underneath this couch, and you can see there's legs here, you can see there's the bottom part right there. Kind of folds out like an upside down V, then it'll lay flat. Unfold the legs, it'll rest down right on the ground here. And then you flip down this back portion to fill that gap. And here you should have a remote for your radio. This blue bag's going to have all your manuals in it. I definitely recommend reading through some of them. Microwave works just like your microwave at home, only going to work when you're plugged in. You have a light here and then a fan. Like I said, if you're going to run that fan, make sure that flap on the outside is open, or else it's not actually going to be venting anything anywhere. Cooktop, super simple to use. Fold up, fold back, turn it to the flame, twist your sparker, lights right out. Oven works a little differently. Turn that to the flame, push and hold. As you're pushing and holding that, you want to twist your sparker, and then what you're looking for is the pilot down in here to be lit. Once it's lit, you can turn it to whatever temperature you want. Then you'll be good. Now, if you know you're going to cook in a few hours, you don't want to have to relight your pilot. When you turn it off and turn it to that flame, it shuts your burners off, leaves the pilot on. That way you don't have to relight the pilot. Definitely recommend turning it completely off before you go to bed or leave your camper, because you don't want a lit pilot unattended. And then you do have a light, which does your knobs, and that's also your oven light. Fridge is super simple. You have two buttons, on or off, on or off, auto or gas. I recommend just leaving it on auto. Auto is going to default to 110, so when you're plugged in, that's what it's going to use. Campground or lose power, someone were to accidentally unplug you, automatically switch to running on propane if your propane were to be on. Once that's on, you'll be good. Unlike your fridge at home, these do take about 8 to 10 hours to get to operating temperature because they don't work the same way. So keep that in mind. You'll have to give it almost half a day before you'll be able to use it to store food. Dinettes. Got storage underneath them. Actually, I want to check something because I've seen it. I want me to see if there's underneath here. Yep, that bag is for your hoses, for your built-in vacuum, and I'll show you that as we go. I just wanted to make sure. Your table, super simple to turn into a bed. Unhooks from that wall over there. You can see there's two hooks there. Then you unfold the leg. Then you just rest it on this little bracket right here. Take these back cushions, lay them flat. It's going to create a platform to sleep on. And you do have light switches in here. One on the left does lights over there. One on your right does that light there. Thermostat, super simple. Tap it. It'll ask for your fan mode, auto, high, or low. I recommend having an auto. Auto's going to allow it to cycle on and off at your set temperature, keeping it from freezing up, because if you run it on high or low, just high or low, it's going to keep running no matter if it's reached a set temperature or not. So if it's really hot and really humid out, it'll freeze up and then shut off, and then it won't work until you let it thaw out. So having an auto is going to prevent that. Tap it again. Ask your temperature. This goes all the way down to 55. Tap it again. Now it's on furnace. Your furnace goes all the way to 90. A little bit of advice. These can be a little finicky. If you hit up and down at the same time accidentally, it switches it to Celsius. Just hit up and down again to get it back to the way it was. But here, this is your vacuum. So undo that. Those blue hoses hook into here, and then you do pull this up, and you got your bag back there. So just like that. Put it back in place. There you go. Below that, your breaker box. All your breakers for your 120 volt appliances. All your fuses for your 12 volt, so you have all 15s and 240s. Keep some spare fuses just in case. Below that is a propane gas detector that's hardwired to the 12 volt system. There's no batteries you have to worry about changing, unlike your smoke alarm and your carbon monoxide alarm, which takes 9 volt batteries like your smoke alarm does. Alright, a few more things. Your bathroom. Light switch here. Resettable GFCI, so if any GFCI would have tripped, this is the one you reset it at. Monitoring panel, so you can read your battery. Battery's always going to read full when you're plugged in. How full your fresh is, your black, and your gray. Then you have your controls for your water heater on propane and water heater on electric. You can run them both at once. If you are going to run electric, make sure there's water in it, or you're going to burn out the heating element. Then you have your controls for your water pump right there. Then everything else is pretty simple. Shower is pretty easy. You turn it on here and then lift up here. It's going to turn on the shower. You do have a fan here. Make sure you do run it. Always recommend running it when you're taking a shower. It's going to keep condensation from a hot shower from building up on these walls. And toilet, just as simple. As long as you're pushing this pedal, it's going to keep flushing. See? And then water will come out that nozzle right there as long as you're holding the pedal down. Alright. That's it for the bathroom. One more thing, your bunks, just so you guys can see. Curtains here. Light up there. Light up there. And then the top one has a 300-pound capacity. And then you do have storage underneath. Alright, that concludes the video tour of your Heartland Mallard. Hope you folks found that video informative. I hope you guys enjoy using your camper, get a lot of good use out of it, and goodbye.